Kim Kardashian has had enough. This complete debacle of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's making has made them even more toxic in Hollywood than they were before, and that is saying something. The Kardashians not happy about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle overshadowing Kris Jenner's party. Kim is pissed off. And it's not a surprise, is it? Given that the Kardashians are the royal family
Kim
of Hollywood.
Kardashian has officially reached her limit. Whatever storm Prince Harry and Meghan Markle keep dragging around with them has finally spilled into Hollywood. And this time, the Kardashians weren't having any of it. And that says a lot. Because it takes a very rare type of chaos to embarrass someone who has survived palace feuds, reality TV drama, and the entire world studying her every micro-expression. Yet somehow Meghan managed to pull off that remarkable feat with a single photo. A photo Kim deleted faster than a bad business deal. It all started with one tap, one delete, and suddenly, Meghan went from dreaming of Hollywood royalty status to realizing she may have stumbled into the wrong kingdom entirely. Meghan Markle walked into Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, like she was expecting a spotlight to follow her through every doorway. She strolled in with the kind of confidence you only see from someone who assumes cameras are contractually obligated to love her. She expected applause, a headline, maybe even a Hollywood-style revival arc. Instead, she got the digital version of being escorted out of VIP without anyone making eye contact. Because Kim Kardashian was not amused. Within minutes of posting a picture that included Meghan, Kim wiped it from her Instagram. Clean, quick, surgical, like it never existed. And if you know anything about the Kardashian social media strategy, then you know, Kim doesn't delete things accidentally. She deletes to make a point. Fans noticed immediately. Screenshots popped up everywhere. People compared timestamps. Suddenly, the internet looked like a digital CSI team trying to figure out why Meghan Markle got erased from Kim Kardashian's timeline like a glitch in the Matrix. And that's when the whispers started. But let's rewind for a second, because the story really began long before that delete button was pressed. According to insiders, Meghan was actually the one who asked Kim to put the photo up in the first place. Typical. Meghan saw it as a power play, a sign she was aligned with Hollywood's most influential family. Meanwhile, Harry allegedly did the opposite and wanted it taken down, because apparently even he sensed the vibe was off. For a brief moment, Meghan had exactly what she wanted: proximity to a powerful empire. But that triumph evaporated the instant Kim hit delete. Within seconds, Meghan's imagined Hollywood comeback moment collapsed. Gone. And let me tell you, for a family that documents everything, deleting a photo is basically a declaration of war. The Kardashians don't erase content unless something, or someone, is seriously off-brand. Meghan being deleted wasn't a petty mistake. It was a message. And the message was loud. You see, the Kardashians had gone all out for this event. Kris Jenner's 70th wasn't just a birthday party. It was a billionaire-level spectacle hosted inside Jeff Bezos's mansion. Think gold trim everywhere, guests floating in like Bond characters, and paparazzi hired with the precision of a military operation. Oprah, Gayle, music moguls, A-listers gliding effortlessly through the halls. It was a Hollywood power summit disguised as a birthday celebration. And then Meghan walked in as if she was the headliner. But the room barely flinched. She wasn't greeted with excitement. She wasn't swarmed for selfies. She wasn't even politely celebrated. Instead, she wandered through the room like someone who had taken a wrong turn at the valet and decided to hope for the best. Meanwhile, Harry, let's just say he did not look like a man thrilled to be there. According to guests, the man appeared dazed, uncomfortable, and, if some camera angles are telling the truth, a little too fascinated with Kris Jenner's neckline choices. People online zoomed in, slowed down frames, and shared them like they'd uncovered forbidden royal footage. And honestly, it did not help the couple's already fragile image. Guests whispered. People exchanged confused glances. You could practically hear the room thinking, who invited them? Because the Kardashians certainly didn't rush to welcome them. Kris didn't stop the party to honor them. The Jenners didn't run over for a photo op. Meghan and Harry drifted like uninvited attendees at a wedding where nobody recognized them. And the wildest part? They stayed for only 10 minutes. Just long enough for Meghan to scan the room, realize she wasn't the main character here, and make a strategic exit before someone asked her what she was even doing there. But the moment they walked out wasn't the headline. The headline was what happened after. The internet exploded the second Kim deleted that photo. It was as if someone pulled the fire alarm in the Hollywood gossip universe. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everyone dove into detective mode. People began asking the questions Meghan feared the most. Why would Kim wipe a picture featuring her? Was it shade? Was it a branding decision? Did Meghan ask for it because of an unflattering angle? Or did Kim simply not want her grid tainted with the drama magnet known as Meghan Markle? But the theory that gained the most traction was the coldest one. Kim deleted the photo because the Kardashians didn't want to be associated with Meghan. Not because of pettiness, but because Meghan is a PR hazard, a walking controversy, a magnet for backlash. And the Kardashian empire, polished, curated, calculated, doesn't attach itself to liabilities. The deletion was deliberate, and Hollywood insiders picked up on the signal immediately. But it wasn't just the delete that made the night go nuclear. What sent the internet into full meltdown mode was the rumor that Meghan and Harry weren't even officially invited to the party at all. Suddenly, their stiff body language, awkward smiles, and 10-minute appearance made sense. Imagine showing up to the hottest party of the year uninvited, and then acting like you own the place. It turned the situation from awkward to downright humiliating. Guests whispered that the couple didn't seem to appear on the event run sheet. Nobody greeted them at the entrance. Nobody escorted them inside. Their arrival felt like two people who followed the noise of cameras hoping no one would question their presence. It was the social equivalent of sneaking into a VIP lounge and hoping the bouncers are too distracted to notice. And Meghan? She walked around like she expected confetti cannons to go off. But Hollywood functions differently. In this world, clout doesn't come from pretending you're relevant. It comes from people proving you're relevant by treating you like you matter. And on this night, nobody did. And then came the worst part for Meghan, the unspoken Hollywood verdict. Because after the deleted photo, industry chatter started buzzing. The agents, the publicists, the brand experts, the people who actually run Hollywood from behind the scenes, they all whispered the same thing. Meghan isn't the kind of attention the industry wants right now. She drains the room. She brings drama, not sparkle. She complicates brand images. And above all, she doesn't boost the value of anyone standing next to her anymore. The Kardashians, who operate with the precision of a global corporation, sensed it instantly. They don't delete photos for fun. They delete them to protect the empire. And in their eyes, Meghan wasn't a boost. She was a risk. And that's when everything changed. What Meghan didn't expect, what she never imagined, was that deeper insult that followed the deletion. Because the missing photo wasn't just an embarrassment. It symbolized something she had been trying desperately to deny. Hollywood isn't embracing her. Hollywood isn't chasing her. Hollywood isn't validating her. Not anymore. And when Meghan discovered that Kim had deleted the photo, reportedly before Meghan even had the chance to repost it herself, she was blindsided. Insiders say she was stunned, embarrassed, angry. She believed the photo was flattering, strategic, an image that would boost her standing. Instead, it was erased. And for someone who treats image like oxygen, that hit hard. Harry, apparently exhausted by the constant need to micromanage their narrative, tried telling her it wasn't a big deal. But that only made things worse. Meghan doesn't see photos as pictures. She sees them as assets, tools, power. And having one erased by Hollywood royalty was like having a door slammed in her face. Worse, it signaled something far more painful. The Kardashians, the most influential celebrity family alive, didn't see any value in keeping her on their grid. And that truth cut deeper than any headline, any tabloid, any shade thrown by the palace. But the story doesn't end there. Because what Hollywood whispered next, the quiet truth behind closed doors, was even harsher. And part 2 is where everything truly unravels. What followed after Kim Kardashian's delete button moment wasn't just gossip or commentary. It was Hollywood sending a quiet but piercing message that echoed far louder than Meghan Markle ever anticipated. Because the deletion didn't end at humiliation. Sparked something bigger. Something Meghan has been trying to outrun since leaving the royal family. It became a verdict. Behind the glowing lights and sparkling champagne, The agents, the PR fixers, the publicists, the brand managers, the real architects of celebrity power, all started whispering the same uncomfortable truth. And it wasn't whispered with cruelty, but with that cold, matter-of-fact tone people use when delivering news they know will sting. Meghan isn't the kind of attention Hollywood wants anymore. Not after the failed Spotify deal. Not after the lukewarm reactions to her endless rebrands. Not after the carefully curated victim stories that never seem to match the vibe of the room she walks into. Hollywood likes unpredictability, but not the exhausting kind. Not the kind wrapped in endless drama and control-the-narrative energy. And that's exactly what the Kardashians sensed. Because say what you want about Kim Kardashian. She may be many things, but she's not stupid. She knows branding. She knows optics. She understands image like it's a form of currency. And deleting Meghan from her grid wasn't an accident, a mistake, or an aesthetic adjustment. It was a strategic distancing. The kind that celebrities rarely do publicly. The kind that stings more precisely because it was public. Meanwhile, the recap posts from the Kardashian-Jenner family poured in. Photo after photo after photo. All glammed, all curated, all powerful. Yet not a single trace of Meghan or Harry in any of them. It wasn't shade. It wasn't subtlety. It was a complete erasure. As if the couple never existed at the event. That's when online sleuths started digging deeper. TikTok creators analyzed Kris Jenner's recap. Frame by frame. People zoomed in on videos, searching for the Sussexes like they were part of a hidden object game. And every time the results came up empty. Meghan and Harry weren't featured anywhere. Not because they were forgotten, but because they were intentionally omitted from the narrative of the night. And that, right there, was the second wound. Because Hollywood operates under one unspoken rule. You only matter if people decide you matter. And on this night, no one made that decision for Meghan. While the internet roasted her, PR analysts explained it bluntly. The Kardashians don't associate with anything that could disrupt their empire's momentum. And being seen with Meghan Markle at this point comes with more risks than rewards. But believe it or not, the deletion wasn't the final blow. The rumor that followed hit harder than anything else Meghan faced that night. Multiple insiders claimed Meghan and Harry weren't even officially invited to Kris Jenner's party. That rumor spread like wildfire. Suddenly everything made sense. The stiff posture, the rushed exit, the confused glances from guests, the awkward distance between Meghan and every Kardashian-Jenner in the room. It reframed the entire evening. What looked like a glamorous cameo began to look more like an uncomfortable intrusion. Guests reportedly couldn't figure out who invited them. Some assumed Oprah brought them. Others thought maybe they were part of Bezos's guest list. But Kris and Kim's reaction, or lack of one, told a different story. Meghan and Harry walked into the hottest party in Hollywood. And no one seemed to know why. So, when they left after barely 10 minutes, people understood. Meghan did what Meghan always does. She tried to capture a moment, a headline, a photo op. And when that didn't materialize, she left. But the deletion of the photo made her exit look even more embarrassing. For Meghan, the implications cut deep. This wasn't just an aesthetic choice or a petty swipe. It symbolized the larger truth she'd been running from. Her influence in Hollywood isn't rising. It's slipping. And the Kardashian empire quietly confirmed it with a single tap. But the reaction behind the scenes, the whispers from insiders, the murmurs from agents, that's what truly shattered Meghan's image. Because the people who work in Hollywood's engine rooms, the ones who build careers, engineer publicity, and decide who gets invited where, began saying the same thing. Meghan isn't a brand enhancer. She's a brand complication. And the Kardashians don't involve themselves with complications they don't profit from. Even worse, people began comparing Meghan's demeanor at the party to Katherine's recent public appearances. Katherine was being described as graceful, resilient, dignified. Everything Meghan seemed to lack in that moment. And that comparison, however unfair, amplified the narrative even more. Hollywood isn't looking for someone who brings drama. It's looking for someone who brings value. And unfortunately, Meghan hasn't delivered that in years. After the deletion, Meghan's team reportedly tried spinning the narrative. Some insiders hinted that maybe Meghan herself had requested the removal over lighting, angles, or outfits. But no one bought that. Not even her supporters. Because the Kardashians don't delete something unless they want it gone. And social media treated the deleted photo like a national emergency. People examined reflections, shadows, reposts, dissecting every detail. And every clue pointed to one thing. Meghan wasn't welcome in that storyline. Then came the final punch, the reaction from Buckingham Palace. Royal insiders allegedly expressed shock that Meghan and Harry were even at the party. They called it desperate, tacky, tone-deaf. And for once, both Hollywood and the palace seemed aligned in their confusion. Meghan didn't just look out of place at Kris Jenner's 70th. She looked lost. But the real drama, the one that cut closest to Meghan's ego, was her private reaction to Kim's deletion. Sources say she felt blindsided. She thought the picture was flattering. She thought standing next to Kim was powerful PR. She thought the image would boost her Hollywood position. Instead, it got erased before she even had the chance to repost it. And for Meghan, who studies her image like a strategic MBA case study, that was a crushing blow. She relies heavily on curated narratives, perfectly controlled optics, carefully chosen angles, and she's built her identity around managing how she appears to the world. Kim's deletion shattered that illusion. It wasn't just the photo disappearing. It was the message behind it. You're not part of this circle. You're not part of this brand. You're not part of this world. That's what stung the most. Harry, exhausted by constant image battles, told her not to overthink it. But Meghan doesn't underthink anything. She overthinks everything. And the idea that Kim Kardashian, queen of branding, didn't want to be associated with her was a deeper wound than any article or gossip storm. It wasn't just an unflattering picture disappearing. It was validation disappearing, position disappearing, relevance disappearing. And then came the worst ripple effect. Hollywood insiders started adjusting their perception of Meghan. Quietly, slowly, sharply. The deleted photo became symbolic. Industry people saw it as a sign, a shift, a recalibration. Meghan went from someone the industry once embraced to someone it now approached with caution, hesitation, and PR gloves on. People whispered at after-parties. "Did you see Kim deleted her?" That says a lot. Hollywood doesn't want that kind of chaos around. And the more they talked, the smaller Meghan's Hollywood footprint began to look. Her cameo at the party wasn't a comeback moment. It was a cautionary tale. In the end, Meghan's 10-minute appearance at Kris's party didn't elevate her. It exposed her. The deletion didn't just remove her from a photo. It removed her from Hollywood's inner orbit. And as the night ended, the message was clear. The Kardashian empire is selective. Hollywood is strategic. And Meghan Markle no longer fits the image either world wants to present. Yet, if you think this circus ends here, think again. Because there's a sequel to this drama. One even more explosive, more unfiltered, and more brutal. And it features Harry in complete disbelief as Sarah Ferguson exposes a chapter of Meghan's past she hoped the world would never revisit. And trust me, if you thought tonight's story was wild, that one is a full-blown hurricane. If you're ready for it, you already know what video to click next. Thank you for watching. And buckle up, the next chapter is even messier.